Hello everyone. My name is Sinpatty, and welcome to Modded Starfield. As I said in the beginning, it's modded, very modded. This is our hero, Wes Cabot, and we're gonna go ahead and just kind of get started. I have plans within plans for Wes. First and foremost, gonna talk a little bit about his background. It is a role-playing game after all. If you're interested to see what mods I have, then they will be in the description down below. I need to buy a new watch. It doesn't match the drip, and the drip is all important. Anyway, as I was saying, so Wes Cabot here is a space scoundrel. He is wanted for crossing a Spacer Kingpin one too many times. Stealing from the take, maybe not giving all of the Aurora over, those kinds of things, holding on to a couple organs just in case he needs to sell something to the Trade Authority. Wes is very, very handy at spaceflight, and especially putting powers to his shields. His beautiful, wonderful ship, the Blue Moon, it's his pride and joy. It's a modified longsword, and it's a ship that's been in his family for at least a few years. He was not the first owner. His older brother was. Older brother unfortunately died during the war between FSC and UC. His parents were given a nice loft up in New Atlantis, and Wes decided to lay low and, well, go mine for Argos in between becoming wanted and, now. He was the first to discover the artifact, and he touched it, leaving him with, well, a strange feeling, and after running away from the dig that Argos was commissioned for at Crete, he decided to run away. He found his ship, ditched the frontier, and after some time decided it might be best to come drop off the artifact at the very least. So he's here to do that. So, without further ado, let's go do it. That sounds pretty intense going on there. Some kind of attack at a space station. But yeah, Wes, to talk a little bit more about him. Trying to lay low at Argos, he ditched the frontier as soon as he could in favor of his Blue Moon, heavily customized Deimos longsword. There's rumors of a certain star charting explorers group resurging out into the field, and Wes is wondering about wandering the settled systems. He's always been a wanderer at heart. It's kind of why he decided to go off with Argos. Besides the whole running away from the Spacer Kingpin thing. God, this game it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I played for over 600 hours and it still catches me just like, I don't know, staring at things. I don't even have the graphics maxed or anything. That's a nice elevator mod. In fact, we might, that takes a little time. We might write that to the top some other time or write it down. Actually, I'll have to write it to the top if I want to write it down, so we'll see about that. But Wes is currently on the way to drop off the artifact. I don't think he would feel like staying, or at least that staying with the Constellation is like a good idea. He's still wanted after all, and I don't think he'd want to bring that down upon his new friends at Constellation. With that being said, though, anything is possible. He's probably going to go meet his parents, too. I know he misses them. It's been a while since they've seen each other. He's been off at Argos for a while. But now's as good a time as any, right?
Today's going to be a great day. Don't you agree?
It's a day. As long as the Ecliptic decide not to, come fuck with me. Oh man, these lights, they're gonna look so good at night. One of the mods I have installed, Rabbit's Real Light series. That one, check it out. Fantastic. Add a lot of great lighting. Another great mod is Royal Galaxy Overhaul. There's a ton of great changes with that. Astrogate, I also use for space travel. We'll see that. I'm going to try to use that more than I have in the past. Whoopsies. But we'll go ahead and get moving. I would say Wes is the helpful type, so he probably won't be, being a pirate, probably be more of a privateer, trying to undermine the Crimson Fleet and all that jazz. Will almost certainly help the UC, because while he's not, married to the UC, his brother died for him, and His parents live here. Why wouldn't he want to protect New Atlantis and the, United Colonies? For the Ranger quest, I'm thinking... I don't know what I'm going to do there. He may ignore it. I mean, he'll definitely do the bank heist just because, well, besides it being necessary for the story, he's definitely the type to want to help out there. Ooh, got our first level up, and that might actually be a good excuse for me to show off the options before I go talk to the boys and girls at the best club in the galaxy, Constellation. So, these are my settings to start. We have, player combat damage. I have that at hard. Or enemy combat damage at hard. Player combat damage at easy. Eventually, once I level up a few more times, I'm gonna put this down to very easy, and the enemy combat damage up to either very hard or extreme. For ship, I usually kind of keep it at this. I'm not like too married to the idea of having super difficult ship combat, just because there are times when you get super swarmed and it just becomes like, well, I'm screwed here. But I guess that also kind of comes into skill, you got to know when to do sneak attacks or guerrilla warfare tactics, jumping out and jumping back into system to try to deal with people. I think that might be an interesting idea. Weighted ammo, reduced carry capacity, just because I have a lot of I have mods that will inevitably add carry capacity for things like legendary item recycler, where you can take off and then reattach. Oh, that's my kitty. She doesn't like me talking. But legendary item recycler is why I do the reduced carry capacity. Cargo access distance, because eventually I'll have a lot of carry capacity. I don't really mind it being inside the ship. I like that for realism. Reduced vendor credits, because Trade Authority already has a bunch and everybody else doesn't necessarily need it. Also, I'm running the Settled Systems Economy Overhaul. I think that's PC only as of recording, but it could very well come out for everybody else too. I really hope so. Some medical item is healing slowly, no food healing. Sleep healing is location limited. I shouldn't really necessarily be healing just because I'm sleeping in an enemy base. Positive only, just because I find the negative side effects don't really matter, but honestly, the +4 for sustenance, it's so easy to get food. So yeah, alright, we'll keep it there at positive and negative. Combat affliction gain, I like the affliction system. I like how much they kind of push it. I like the treatment to improve only, because I think that's more interesting. And then, of course, advanced, because it's kind of boring when you're just like, yeah, everything's fine, I'm all good. I take one little bandage, and now my gaping wound in my chest is healed. Why not make that gaping wound a little bit worse for me if I decide to do nothing about it, right? Normal environmental damage and afflictions, just because I feel like that system isn't exactly, number one, well explained, or number two, well balanced. Even vanilla or modded, it just kind of wigs me off. Honestly, if I was going full exploration, I want to survey every planet, I'd probably turn it off. But that's just me. Luckily, you can change your settings however you want. I just like showing them off. And then environmental damage restoration is going to be at resting only. My cat has decided to come say hello, so if you hear some purring, that's her. She's being a sweet girl. Maybe it's I'll put a picture up of the kitty. There are plenty of good pictures I've got of her, so they'll be here. Anyway, cost of spacing, that's a simulation, that's a mod. I'm going to turn down the heat leech infestation rate to 9, and then turn it down to 3, just to keep things a little okay. This is Starborn Among Us. I really like that mod. Same with the heat leech mod. Both those are paid, and I think they're kind of worth it. Astrogate is on. Oh, Nala, don't hit the... Her name is Nala. She's a very sweet girl. Immersive looting to random, and I think we're good. I can't wait for the long-term effects. That's going to be cool. Save on pause every 30 minutes, save on rest, because I feel like that makes sense. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Alright. Well, now that that's happening, let me go ahead and eat. Got milk. I got a carbonara. Love me a good carbonara. And now time for our first choice. So... Having this character, he's got some tech, piloting engine. That means I can select from here. If I was to do anything, it would probably be shield systems. I'd probably focus that. But he has no combat, and thinking about realistically, I think he might do lasers. Yeah, he'll do lasers. I like laser weapons. I don't use them nearly enough. I know right now I technically have an Eon, but I do have this cutter. So other mod I used was SKK Fast Start. Shout out to him. The Crimson Fleet one is great, and the regular Fast Start is fantastic as well. Let's go ahead and get started. I don't know why the watch is doing that. It's probably because of my clothing mod. That's kind of funny. It's a little goofy. Danger of using modded stuff, you know? It happens, but I'm not really worried. Alright, hey Vasco.
Captain Wes.
That's me, baby.
Will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
Roger, roger. I'll have to go back to Argos and Crete, because we're going to also do lore stuff here.
I'm suggesting is so outlandish. All the phenomenon we see out in the stars, and what I'm saying is the most impossible theory.
You two keep going on like this, and I'm banning wages. I'm serious.
We'll play nice. Just a little.
I do kind of wish you could take Khatri along. I think there's a missed opportunity there, for his character. But they were talking about a wager, if they're, you know, intelligent life in the settled systems or not. Khatri is on the time of course, and Walter says no.
Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
Sure.
Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
Well, since I'm a nice guy, who are you?
Sarah Morgan, chair of Constellation. That means anything you discussed with Barrett is my business. Now, if you would please answer my question.
Why don't you start with telling me what Constellation is?
Very well.
That's my speech check. Let's
This
go.
is a private organization dedicated to exploration. Space primarily, but also anomalies throughout the settled systems. It's inherently dangerous work, so if one of our own doesn't show up as planned, then we tend to have questions.
Hey, you know what? That's fair.
Speaking of which, where is Barrett?
Oh, alright. Well, you know, Crimson Fleet chased him, and, well, I get to deliver this.
Vasco, very.
Or don't trust me,
All
whatever.
statements made have been factual.
Mm-hmm.
This is just typical.
I told you.
Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Hey, Argos is perfectly
Walter.
fine.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols,
About
I
that.
guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to neon.
I kind of spliced the
But
controls.
that didn't happen. He's
and I left
here
it.
with the artifact.
Yeah,
Thank you, Matteo. Now,
always the
let's focus
optimist.
on what's in front of us, shall we?
That's me.
What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
Well, the artifact changed me, and it, before I talk about the artifact, this is absolute lunacy. How does an ancient metal shard grant
We
visions?
think it's anyone else who pulls one out of the rock for the first time. Why? We're not sure yet. So if you wouldn't mind adding another data point.
How many data points do you even have for this? The artifact changed me, and it probably could have killed me. I can feel it.
So something did happen.
Yeah.
Barrett mentioned a loss of consciousness last time he found an artifact.
Are you
Sounds
hearing
about right.
this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not
What's
wasn't
this?
in doubt.
Hmm.
But honestly, Kyle, you expect us
Take
to
it.
believe in fairy
If
tales?
this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus?
Yeah, guys.
Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
I mean, I guess I could.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only two of them at first.
That's usually how it works, you know? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god.
I will say, this
that's it.
moment for the
They're
first
reacting.
time,
Look at
and
how it's
this,
coming
among with other
together.
things, got me hooked with the story.
No manufactured material in the settled systems can
I've
do
seen it so many
one
times now. I've played for over 600 hours. It's kind of nothing, but at the time, this shit was cash money on
She's
launch
not
day.
the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
True.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Godric?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting, now would it?
That's true.
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend?
You can just leave me here, man. I'm good.
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
Before I get into this, I've only really gotten to know Vasco. What is Constellation?
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown.
I agree with
Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
Tell me about the artifacts. I have to know everything.
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal.
Okay.
Another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space.
But
As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that
cool.
puzzle.
So you don't know shit. You know what? I'm in. All right, where do we go
You should
next?
take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to
Well,
us.
hey, how about that?
In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
Well, thank you very much. I'll take a pack. All right, and another level up. Perfect. So let's take our next point. We got a point into lasers. I like the idea of putting a point into resourcefulness. I feel like that makes sense for Wes, because he went around and he was looting a lot of stuff. He's already got one, thing in persuasion. Next is probably going to be Starship Engineering. Really pause real quick just to say, Royal Galaxy changing Starship Engineering from tech to science, I think, is really cool. I think it makes sense. I do miss having my research methods up at the top, but hey, other than that, I think it's a good change. I'm really excited to get down into here, to get to starship design. I always like designing starships, and Wes does too now because I told him. But with that being said, I think we might just end the first episode here and pick up next one with exploring the rest of Constellation and probably going to meet the parents. I feel like that's a good thing to do, It's good to be a good son. But without further ado, I've been Senpatty. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, favorite, subscribe, all that jazz. Hit the bell if you want to see more. I'm planning on posting a lot of these and playing this until either the game crashes or I crash out. We'll see which comes first. Have a good one, guys. We'll see ya.